All right, welcome back, and we are live here on the Nosebleed Show from the Nosebleeds. Welcome to the Nosebleed section. I am your host Tyrell. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you are returning back, welcome back. So, obviously, we know what this is. This is the eighth installment of the Browns post game show here on From the Nosebleeds, as the Browns got BTA belt to ass. Got the belt right here because that's exactly what happened. They got belt to ass, 32-13. Um, Coming off the Miami game, you could tell that there wasn't a sense of urgency to build and improve on this game. On the Miami game, there wasn't a lot of what should I say consistency uh in the game. It really wasn't. Like the Miami game was like a perfect way to build off of, and we didn't build off of that whatsoever. So we walk into a New England, and I think I even said it last week. Like we're gonna get brought right back down to earth against New England. So why not enjoy the Miami win while we can? And it's crazy because Miami actually beat Atlanta. It seemed like the reverse happened. You would think a 1-5 team that just beat down another 1-5 team would start to build up momentum, even if they would have lost this game. There was some type of fight, you know, we could say that, right? But we can't even say that. We can't even say that. So um this is another tough loss. What a surprise. This is another Browns, same old Browns, whatever you want to call it. Like that's exactly what this is, right? So let's go over across the league, scores, updates. And then also we're going to do something a little different on the post game show. We're gonna go listen to Mike Vrabel's press conference as well, because I did hear some, like there was something interesting that he said, and I'm not sure exactly what it is, but a lot of people were commenting on it. What I saw on social media, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Along with, we got to do better Stefanski. Let's go across the league, what the scores, finals, and then what's going on right now. So, Dolphins put a little bit of belt to ass to the Atlanta Falcons, 34-10. The Baltimore Ravens beat the Chicago Bears 30-16. Um, let's see. Derrick Henry passes Walter Payton for fifth all time on rushing touchdowns in league history. So congratulations to Derrick Henry. The Philadelphia Eagles got their revenge against the New York Giants, 38-20. Same prayers to Cam Scatterbooski. The Texans take care of business against San Francisco, 26-15. Bills belt to ass on the Carolina Panthers, 49. I think I even have them covering that on All Ground Sports. The Jets finally get their first, eking out a comeback victory against the Cincinnati Bengals, 39-38. We got Indianapolis Colts putting belt to ass on the Tennessee Titans, 38-7. It is 6 minutes and 54 seconds left to go in the game, for that game. The Denver Broncos going up against the Dallas Cowboys. Right now, I got that on the TV back here. It is 37-17, and the Bucks are 5 seconds away from closing out the New Orleans Saints, 23-3. They better thank their lucky stars that they played against the Saints and not against another team. And aforementioned, the Cleveland Browns lost to the New England Patriots, 32-13. This is therapeutic. We know that. Myles Garrett put a franchise record up, 5 sacks in a single game. And we've been talking about Myles a little bit on this show, and we've been saying, like, hey, don't feel bad for him, whatever it may be. He signed the contract. He knew what the hell he was getting into. He decided not to stick to his guns with the trade request, this, and the third. I thought New England's a very young offensive line. Will Campbell's a very young left tackle. I thought he did the best that he could do against Myles Garrett. But I got to give Myles Garrett credit here. He is trying to step up. I know he had that 3 game stretch where he didn't get a sack and it seemed like he was like kind of going back into that shell, but he's like trying to get out of it. Um, but overall, like Garrett is, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it. So, he's trying. trying his best. I'll put it to you that way. Carson Swayzinger went out with the injury. He got his first career interception. Um, let's go through the scoring plays of this. Borlingus, I think that's how you pronounce his name, or Bergalis, hit a 36-yard field goal in there, and then New England's opening drive. Gabriel hit Fannin for an 18-yard touchdown pass on the Kevin Stefanski special drive. We know what that is about. It's all scripted, all that stuff. We know what it's about. Uh, then New England's kicker hit a couple more field goals to make it 9-7 at the end of the first half. Then the Patriots opened it up. Drake made 7-yard touchdown pass to Hunter Henry. Um, May hit Diggs for a 1-yard touchdown. That was Diggs' first touchdown of the season. Then May hit Booty for 39 yards and a touchdown. And Joku got a pass from Dylan Gabriel on 11 yards for a touchdown. That was Dylan Gabriel's best pass. And then Dylan Gabriel did the intentional ground into the safety. That's how he got 32-13. They failed a 2-point conversion. The Cleveland Browns did when they scored that pass by Njoku, or to Njoku. And look, I said it on this channel. I said it right here in front of you all, looked right here in this camera, and said, I've seen enough of Dylan Gabriel. I've seen enough. Got the high, but I've seen enough. And this game was more than prove it. He threw 2 official interceptions today. But let's be real. Since he started, he should really have 7, like 4 touchdowns or 5 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I've seen enough. I've seen enough. He's not the guy that we know has good upside. He's not the guy with the best potential. The guy with the best potential is wearing number 12. And I'm not the biggest fan of putting him behind this offensive line, this receiving core, whatever it may be. But we know Dylan Gabriel's not the guy. I don't know if the Browns think he's the guy or they're being more patient than us, but we see, and I don't even know, let's be honest here. I don't even know if it's Stefanski and his inability to play calls and to coach these players up, right? Like, he's not the guy. He's not an Andy Reid, obviously. He's not a McVay. He's not a Shanahan. He's not a Ben Johnson. He's not he's not what's a dude's name from he's not Zach Taylor. Even Zach Taylor. He's not Zach Taylor. Like, there is no intensity with Stefanski unless his back is against the wall. There is no sense of urgency that he can get out of his team unless he personally feels like his back is against the wall. Like, if he feels like his team's back is not against the wall, but if his team's back is against the wall, but he don't feel that way about himself, he's not gonna. We saw it right here. We saw it with the Miami Dolphins. We saw it with this game, right? And one can make the case, we've been a little bit more disciplined, 5 penalties, when we usually get more. But like, and in Miami, they were disciplined, right? There was a sense of urgency with Miami. There was a threat of that seat getting even hotter from the fans, and I think internally inside the organization. When you got that Miami win, and you get Jimmy Haslam, gives him a vote of confidence. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know when those comments came out, but I know they came out sometime this week. I want to say it came out yesterday. Jimmy Haslam gives him a vote of confidence publicly. It's like Stefanski don't care. He know his job is secured. And you look at it, Quinshawn, you look at a Myles Garrett, you look at let's be honest here, Carson Swayzinger, look at a Mason Graham, right? More so, let's go Myles Garrett, Mason Graham, Quinshawn Judkins, right? Like, these are even Isaiah Bond to an extent. Garrett is the veteran, right? And he's gotten a taste of what potential consistent winning is like with 2020 and 2023. But we know that he's fed up with this crap. It's your fault, Garrett. Let's not get it twisted. But we know you're fed up with this. Like, you allowed yourself to get duped by the Browns organization. Let's call a spade a spade. You allowed yourself to get conned by them. Quinshawn is coming from Ohio State, right? Defending national champions consistently in the playoffs. He played an integral part into that. Like he knows college, whatever it may be, he knows what a winning program is like, what a winning organization is supposed to look like, feel like, and sound like, right? Same way with Mason Graham. Mason Graham was a part of that Michigan national team from 2 years ago. So you got guys here that, whether it's collegiate or in Miles Garrett's case, is tired of this shit. Your fault, obviously. We know that, or they know, I should say, they know that this is not consistent winning because Stefanski is not consistent winning. The organization is not consistent winning, right? Like they know what that is like. Mason, Quinshawn, they know what that's like. Isaiah Bond came from Texas, right? They did had good amount of success at Texas. Like Texas made the college football playoffs last year, right? So they know what winning is supposed to be like. It doesn't matter if it's collegiate or pro. Winning program is a winning program within the realm of where you compete at. The Browns, Stefanski is not it. And there are people that are out there that are on the fence. There are people that still defending him. And then there's people like me that's like, I've seen enough over the last 4 years. And that includes 2023. I've seen enough. I don't want Stefanski here. It's been 6 years of pretty much the same crap. Don't give me the head coaching of the years. Don't give me, old Pittsburgh because he didn't coach in the game. Don't get me 2023. If you have two apples in a bag and the rest of the apples, like let's do math equation here, right? Let's do what we all did at the kitchen table when we were in elementary school, right? Kevin has 6 apples. Kevin has 6 apples. 2 of them are the best pristine apples in the bag. The rest of them are spoiled rotten. Should Johnny eat those apples? Should Kevin hand out, or better yet, should Kevin hand out those apples? Or should he throw the bag away? Should Jimmy, I had it right the first time. Should Jimmy keep should keep somebody who's holding the bag with 2 good apples and 4 bad ones? Or should Jimmy subtract the apple picker? If the apple picker is picking, I'm coming up with this on top of my head, but if the apple picker is picking bad apples, but he gets 2 good ones out of 4, when the team invested in him to pick better apples. And I don't mean apples and players, I mean his winning seasons, his production here, right? Wouldn't most businesses get a new apple picker or take a chance of getting an apple picker that might better at picking better apples to sell the oncoming customers that's coming to the apple farm apples? See, there are some customers who are skeptical about the bag of apples. 6 apples in the bag. 6 apples. 6 apples represent the 6 seasons of Kevin Stefanski. And 2 of them are golden honey crisp apples. They are ripe and they have been picked to perfection. But there's 4 more with worms eating inside of them. There's 4 more. And there are customers, us fans, where they're skeptical, but they'll look at those 2 apples and go, hey, this apple picker has a potential to turn things around no matter what. Some things happened that wasn't his fault, right? One year the apples didn't harvest as well, so that's why there's worms in 4 bad apples, because the owner decided to get a new pesticide, Deshaun Watson, and it corrupted the rest of the apples. But on the other hand, the head coach the apple picker still didn't do a good job deciding when to let that pesticide go and switch over to a new one. I hope this is making sense for you guys. Then there's people like me that can see the 2 good apples and see the 4 bad ones and see how bad the 4 bad apples are and go, I am never coming back. I'm coming back here to watch y'all to pick a new apple picker, but in that time frame, I'm not buying a single apple. I'm not buying a single bag of apple because I see four rotten apples, and that apple picker, despite the circumstances, has to go. And then there are other fans that are like, "Hey, he picked out two good apples. We should never fire him. He's a genius. If we let him go, he's gonna go to another orchard." I hope that was a good analogy. I hope that was a good analogy. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. So Fancy's press conference is only 4.5 minutes. So we're going to stream the Stefanski press conference. Then we're gonna go to Mike Vrabel. Um, and then what I'm gonna do is, I don't know how I should, because I have to, funny enough, take a phone call. So what I'm gonna do is, I don't know how to turn the camera off on here. I don't think you can on the live, but we're gonna screen share this, and I'm gonna step away. Um, the Stefanski. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put the Miles Garrett conference on because something's going on over here on my personal life that I need to address. It's kind of urgent, but I don't want to end the live stream for you guys. So I'm gonna put on Miles Garrett's press conference, and then we'll be back to discuss Kevin Stefanski's press conference as well. I just want to say fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. But we're gonna use this as filler for now. See, not our most traditional live stream, but we're getting there. Are getting there. 2 minute warning. Saw you sitting by yourself and you know, 5 second game in this game. Statistical game of your career.
I'm frustrated. I want to win. I don't care how much time is on the clock. They got this. There's a chance we can win. I want to be a part of that. I don't care how dire the situation looks. I'm want to try to make something happen. So I hate coming out of those situations. I hate inevitability and not being able to do anything about it because I
how hard is it? How tough is it for you guys to have such a good defensive unit? You are operating the 5 sacks and putting the team on your back and just not have any offense to go with it.
It doesn't get any easier each week you ask me. So.
How do you feel about your performance? Does the loss diminish how you feel about your performance today at all, I guess?
I would throw the whole performance away for a win.
You had a moment there with Harry Kane at the end. What did you, what did you think of him? And what's it like, playing against him and getting that defense?
I think he's a great human being. I think he's a good quarterback who's soon to be a great quarterback. I like how he's grown. It's nice to be a part of his journey, to be on this end of it, but it's nice to see how he's leading his team. He's helped them rebuild into what they are now. So, and in a way, I'm proud of him, and I'm happy to see his success.
How much did they give Campbell much help? What did you see from them? I mean, obviously 5 sacks. I mean, you were very successful. But what did you see? I mean, what were they throwing at you in terms of blocks, double teams, chips, that sort of thing?
They gave me more one-on-ones than some other teams, and I think we also created that by moving me around, putting me in different positions, and trying to just be unpredictable with my location on the field, and it worked out. There were still different looks that they gave us, different kind of chips and all that, but find a way to get free and make plays.
Well, is there anything that you can do as a team leader as you guys head into this 5 week to see if there are any kind of changes or improvements that can be made in any way as you guys come out of the 5 week?
Don't quit. Keep your head up. Hold everyone's feet to the fire, even my own. Try to find something, some kind of remedy for this and how we can improve. They're not going to put the the red dot at anybody, without putting it on myself and how I can be better and what more I can do for my team. And, just going to continue to get different people's opinions and ideas, turn the tide right now.
How much does the bye week give you guys an opportunity in the moment so much, week by week, getting ready for the next one? How much does this give you guys an opportunity to kind of look, sure, maybe and find some, maybe bigger picture areas that can be cleaned up to help, help the, with once you guys get back on the field?
I mean, I'm going to watch the film. I'm going to talk to different coaches and players and see, what ideas they have on, any way to win. Offense, defense, special teams. I want to be part of success, and it doesn't just stop and start it. And so, however I can be of use, however I can be helpful, I want to do that. And there ain't gonna be any days off for me. I'm gonna continue working on my bye week.
Would you end up staying in the Cleveland area then instead of going somewhere? What you can do to try to help?
I'll go home for a couple of days, see my family, work out, do some recovery, come back early, and if not, if I haven't already, talked to them, over, FaceTime or call, but continue that conversation and that communication, keep on working on things.
What did you think about
Let's take two more.
What did you think of Will Campbell today? What did he do to make your job hard?
I mean, he's strong. You want to set the tempo and the pace of the game, with power. He was able to be pretty firm in his stance and keep me from knocking him back, and just trying to hit him with different looks, try to keep him off guard. And I watched a lot of tape of him versus Will Anderson, and I know he go through it with Will, and I consider that my little bro. So I had to things out of his book and working them into mine to have success.
I realized my mic was still muted. I think Will Campbell would do just fine. I know the Will Anderson game was one. This one is Myles Garrett. But he's tough and he didn't give up or anything like that. He has that mentality of I'm still fighting and dying out there for my quarterback. I think he was accounted for. I think Will was at least two of those sacks. Garrett was Will Campbell's facing Garrett. Even though in those other plays where it seemed like Garrett would have him beat, Will Campbell stayed strong. That's why I think if you guys watch All Ground Sports, I do sit back and believe that Will Campbell will be a Hall of Famer. Like, I don't think he's going to be a human turnstile or one of those guys that is going to give up on the play. I'm Derek Wills. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's had to handle that personal call. And that's another thing about Stefanski, Dylan Gabriel plays bad. Keep him out there. Getting blown out, keep him out there. Jedrick Wills, Deshaun Watson, like just no standard. So let's go to Kevin Stefanski's press conference, and we're actually going to review that. Fair use. This is going to be another one of those short lives, especially like with like nobody in here and don't have the Nick or we don't have our usual audience here. They usually comment. So AC, I think he just joined recently. I'm trying to send here think. Okay, let's go to
front. Carson has an ankle injury. Don't have much more information on that. We'll tomorrow. Obviously, just didn't do anything good enough today. Frustrated, but we'll win as a team. We'll lose as a team, and we'll look at everything on this bye week and figure out a way to get this thing going with more than half our season left. So we're going to use this bye week to really look at everything we're doing because they're better, obviously. But with that, I'll take any questions. Yeah, when I say look at everything, there's just when you lose like this, you have to look at everything, every position, everything I'm doing. There's just it's frustrating for where we are as a team. So every position you have to look at. But let me say that with a young quarterback, you understand that there's going to be ups and downs.
Kevin, I understand you're going to look at everything, but do you feel like this wide receiving group is good enough for you to get an accurate evaluation of whoever plays quarterback for this team?
Yes. Yeah, we need to do a better job. I need to do a better job. Obviously, Jerry needs to get the football, but we have to do a better job. Yeah, variety of reasons, but it doesn't matter. We got to get him the ball.
When you say, there are going to be ups and downs with the young quarterback, does that mean that, does that mean you're sticking with it? I guess?
Yes, it does. But I just want to make the point that in every area, and we'll look at everything we do, including, how we're putting these guys in position to succeed. Are we doing enough? When I say looking at every position, are we doing enough with the quarterback position? Do we need to do a better job? And I know the answer is yes.
You say you're going to look at everything as Miles Garrett and accustomed to that?
Yeah, listen, it's a team game. We'll win as a team, lose as a team.
But Kevin, you're setting this win as a team and lose as a team. But it's how much do we have to hear that? I know it's cliche, but even like Dallas right now, like Dallas is blown out by 20 points. But you see, like Schottenheimer is giving Joe Milton a chance, right? And Milton had a beautiful pass to Tolbert, and he's playing good, right? And there is a certain fight in Dallas being down by 20 freaking points compared to the Cleveland Browns, where this team goes down by 7. It feels like the game is already done. The fight is not there. The energy has been sucked out, like they're being blown out by 45 points. Even then, I've seen teams get blown out by that much and still have better fight than this Cleveland. I've seen other Cleveland Browns teams coached by different men, coached by different coaches that had more fight than the Cleveland Browns when they're down by 7. So I ask you, Stefanski, what are you doing to have fight for this team? Because at some point, we got to start pointing the finger at you. And I've been doing it for the last 3 years, if not 4.
Yeah, obviously, credit to them. They did a good job. We have to find a way to stay on the football field, stay out of third down. If we are into third down, we have to convert.
Is it going to be testing on Quichon's shoulder as well? Or is there something you're
Well, I'll have more information tomorrow. I'm hopeful that he'll be okay. Yeah, I think he'll be okay.
With some of these personal runs that the Patriots got today, and really that trend where teams do have success against your defense, it's some perimeter. We have to do better.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different things that we can look at. Obviously, with our defensive front, there's teams attack us in certain ways, and that's always been the case, really, in this defense. And we have ways to combat it. And obviously, there's gonna be times when they you have to give them credit, but there's things that we can do.
Was there any more you could have done with the challenge in the game?
Yeah, tried, to. We knew that that's a good run defense going into this, but just felt like there were a couple missed opportunities.
And does everything else include potentially exploring somebody else?
Yeah, we have to look at everything. I think it's important.
In terms of, there's a trade deadline coming up. Do you feel like maybe we do need?
Yeah, I'll let obviously Andrew and our personnel department get those things. We talk every day.
Hold on. I'm going to cut him off mid-sentence. Really? That's the answer? Instantly should have been, we are 2-5. We are 2-5. Me and Andrew Berry during this bye week is going to sit down and have a long discussion of what we need to do to improve on this team, to turn this season around and to compete for a playoff spot. In spite of us being 2-6, excuse, that sounds even worse. We 2-6. We have a bye week. Right smack fucking dab in the middle of the fucking season. 9 games to go. Right in the middle of the season. If it was a 16-game season, it'd be literally the middle of the damn season. We're 2-6. We are 2-6. And your response is, we're gonna we're gonna let Barry and personnel, and I really sit with them sometimes. Like, no, this is what I'm talking about. There's no fight. There's no justice for the guys in that locker room. You show no fight. You show no encouragement. You show no heart. You show no care. And it shows with the players on the field outside of Green Bay and Miami. And it's been showing over the last few years, really since outwardly and openly since 24, where everybody started to know what it is. But if you really looked into it, it started in 21, 22. It really started in 22 after the whole Baker fiasco. No fight. No, we are 2-6. Me and Andrew Berry are going to sit down. We are going to recharge. We are going to refocus, and we are going to come up with a plan to try to attack the trade deadline, to bring in guys that we feel like is for our system, best in our organization, that is going to give us the best chance to compete, turn the season around, and make it to the fucking playoffs. How the hell is that better than you, Stefanski?
We understand, where we are, and we like the guys we have.
You like the guy. You like the guy. There are guys that I like, but at the same damn time, we don't have the skill players or the blockers to even try to make the playoffs. We don't have the coach. Jerry Jeudy running consistent laps. Dylan Gabriel being propped up as a starting quarterback when he's a backup at best. Shador is on the sideline. Meanwhile, I turn my head and I'm watching Denver, who has been building this team up, a team that was in a similar situation as us. Their blockbuster trade. They signed their quarterback with Russell Wilson. And after 2 years, they said it's not going to work and we need to retool and refocus. They didn't tear everything down. They didn't build as Denver wins this game 44-24. They didn't do that. No, they sat back and said, we need to get another quarterback. We need to retool. We need to build a line around them. We need to get a running back around them. We need to get some receivers to help out Cortland fucking Sutton. To do that. It didn't work with you. Come out and openly admit that it didn't work with Deshaun fucking Watson. You admitted that it didn't work with Deshaun Watson. You admitted that it didn't work with Deshaun Watson. And yet here we are, of our Lord and Savior, of October, of our Lord and Savior has blessed us with another day on October 26th of our Lord 2025, the big 2-5. And Deshaun Watson is still employed by the Clevelands. No trade, no cuts, not afraid. Denver had the fucking cojones. They had the fucking balls to say that our blockbuster trade did work. And we're going to spend the money. We're going to spend the money and do everything that is necessary and take a hit on losing the quarterback. Pay him the money. Let somebody else have his services. And let's go ahead and let's attack this in a different direction. Cleveland Browns stayed stagnant. They stayed stuck in the mud. Despite the fact that they openly admitted to us that they know that this was a horrible decision, that it backfired on them like a 1980s hoopty-doopty lemon car. That is the difference between organizations like the Browns and the Cleveland Browns. That's the difference. They can't admit, or excuse me, they can't execute the actions that they missed on. Instead, what we're going to do is to free up the cap, structure Deshaun Watson's deal, watch, so we can continue to backload, so we can have more money up front to go get a guy that does not here.
Yeah, obviously you're hoping to to go win. But bottom line is we're a 2-6 football team, and turn that around.
There was that one possession where you tried a couple trick plays.
Mhm.
Is that just to get something going?
Nah, yeah, those are plays we've in the past felt that we'd have a opportunity on those, but I give them credit.
Mr. Vance, we have Vrabel's press conference. Why not? Let's look at that. Because I heard something came out of that as well. Conference.
How are you? Thank you. Taking advantage of our opportunities, turning drives into touchdowns, hitting some X plays, and not settling for field goals like we did in the first half. But sometimes it's going to be like that. A lot of times in this league, it's going to be like that. And we've had other games, and they asked me about starting fast, and again, we'll try to continue to work on that. And but I'm also proud of the totality of the team, and I know there's so much more to improve. But we got stops in the second half, and we scored touchdowns, and that's what the difference in the game was. The way we finished the first half, by getting a stop and going down there and making a huge gain, we didn't convert, but we were able to there in a field goal range, and Andy and that operation was able to take advantage of it and go into the halftime with the lead.
So Dan Roach is back.
Mike, kind of extending that, just the compliment.
I got to pause it right here. Already. I mean, it's kind of weird to say, but you can kind of tell by even the press room with these two, right? Like, let's like, I want you to listen to the reporters in this.
It's a team game. We'll win as a team.
45 yards over the next 6 drives.
Yeah. Yeah, listen.
Just listen to the
game. We'll win as a team, lose as a team.
What do you think happened after the first drive? 45 yards over the next 6 drives.
Yeah.
You hear that? You can barely hear them. They don't have the mic. They use they use the camera microphones that they have. Nobody's handed a microphone. Now listen to the New England Patriots. And I know it's something so stupid. It's nitpicking, but it's just like, look at how the Patriots organization is ran. They make sure that the reporters are heard clearly, properly. Unlike the rest of the bozos in Cleveland, they make sure that New England makes sure the reporters are heard, so their fans can listen and understand and comprehend what is being asked to the head coach and to anybody else. Don't give me that where they're away. The Browns have this same problem at home. They don't give the reporters microphones. Like, even just the smallest minute things show you, like, you treat your reporters well. Because I know this, right? I used to cover high school football games, right? You treat your reporters well. You treat like the press well, just as like you treat your fans well. It goes a long way, and it's and genuinely, reporters literally come back in press like, "Hey, I want to go to the game again," or this, that, and the third, right? Like, I remember going to a high school, and I got a good welcome. You know what I'm saying? But and mind you, I don't want to come off as spoiled or whatever, maybe, or entitled, because I'm not. Like, there was this high school, and like at the half, it was like nothing was there. Like, you walk in, you set up, cover your game, leave out, right? And I had to go to the concession and buy my stuff. I have no issue. I work hard for my money. I don't have an issue spending money supporting the school. 2 weeks later, I went to another school. When I sit back and say they had a huge layout, I'm talking about DeBella subs and cookies and drinks and all this other stuff. It was like every single school I went to besides that first school had something for everybody in the press box. But the one school that didn't, I mean, they were kind of like a lower tier school. But like I went walking away like, hey, like, oh, I went to this unlimited subs, all that stuff. And it's the same way, like, imagine you were a reporter that don't even get a microphone. You got to talk as loud as you can, and then these guys get to talk into one of these. Small things. How you run your organization matters.
Operation was going to the halftime with the lead.
And I'm sorry, that's another thing too. You're the Cleveland Browns. How the fuck you don't have microphones for the reporters?
Mike, kind of extending that, just the complimentary football, Spillane the interception.
And I know I keep interrupting, and I promise you I'm gonna run it back and let him finish it. But like, there's even the PR guy. The PR guy is calling the reporters out. Like, you see this a lot in press conferences. Like, hey, this person in the back, this person in the back. With the Browns, it's just a bunch of mumble jumble. Hey. Like, there's a structure just in the press conferences alone for the New England Patriots. There is a standard and a structure to press conferences. The Browns don't even have that fucking right, for fuck's sakes.
And then the touchdown. Mike, kind of extending that, just the complimentary football, Spillane the interception, and then the touchdown, Hawkins the interception, touchdown. How pleased were you when you saw those kind of things unfold? And you brought your team to the sideline for the ensuing kickoff. What was the for having everybody stand up on the sidelines for that?
Well, I wish you guys would have noticed that a few weeks ago. We started doing that, started going on the road. So just now noticed, but that hasn't changed 3 weeks. It was focus that we had on the road, trying to get up and support the other groups, the ones that were trying to create field position for us, turn or the kickoff. So taking advantage of the turnovers was huge. Certainly one on third down there was Spillane, and then the long one there that Hawk had. So we got to take care of the ball better and continue to find opportunities. They hadn't turned it over, and then when their gimmick ran out, I thought we played pretty good defense.
Oh my goodness! I know I was looking at the TV. Did you hear that? Let's go back and listen to that.
It was huge. Certainly, it was focus that we had on the road, trying to get up and support the other groups, the ones that were trying to create field position for us on the kickoff return or the kickoff. So the advantage of the turnovers was huge. Certainly one on third down there was Spillane, and then the long one there that Hawk had. So we got to take care of the ball better and continue to find opportunities. They hadn't turned it over, and then when their gimmick plays ran out, I thought we played pretty good defense.
When their gimmick plays didn't work out, we played good. Holy shit, is that a freaking fire at Stefanski and the way he runs the organization? Oh, this is not the first. This is the second head coach that outwardly called this organization out and how predictable and unstructured this organization is. He just said, when their gimmick plays don't work, that's when we got. Do I call the gimmick plays here on this channel? We call it or that first drive. We call it the Kevin Stefanski. We call it the Stefanski special, where it seems like all they work on is. This is a guy who was on this staff and was a consultant on both sides of the ball. This is a guy saying that about another coach that helped him get a job in that 1 year bridge that he had between Tennessee and New England. This is a guy that probably felt like, grew up a Browns fan, probably felt like he could do a way better job and would have done a way better job here. Coach, I wanted for this team. He just said, when their gimmick plays stop working, that's when we may stop. Translation. When they stopped doing the plays that we have not seen as much on film, and they went back to being the Browns, that's when everything worked. Unfreaking believable. It's embarrassment.
Looks like the team was pretty. Looks like the team.
You were right. Far right.
It looks like the team was pretty fired up for Stephon Diggs after he scored his first touchdown of the season. Just how would you characterize the impact he's had in the locker room so far?
Really enjoy being around him every day. There's energy.
Great question.
Communicate. His willingness.
Real quick, and listen to the New England press, right? Like, good sound questions. Not a bunch of people going, gravel. Nice and sound. Very bro looking at the reporter, asking him a question. Doesn't have to scan the room to see who's talking. Very sound, very structured. Again, you look at, it's a small thing, but it's like, you look at a press conference, like everything in the organization matters, right? Everything organization matters. And even how you run your press conference, how you treat your press that covers your team, and how you treat your coaching staff to hear that press out. Because the press is supposed to be the information, or it's supposed to be either a voice of the average of the fan base, and or be the information. The people will give us the details. So when of to the fan base. So when you hear loud and clear, when you have the public relations guy or whoever's in charge of running and conducting press conference instead of the head coach or Miles Garrett or Dylan Gabriel or whoever the chuckle fuck is up podium. You see how a press conference, even a simple press conference, the Browns can get right.
Willingness to learn and play and what it is that we need from him each and every week. There's been an energy. He's practiced when we needed him to practice, and we're gonna have to start taking care of some of these guys, and whether that's him or Morgan or Hunter and a lot of these other guys as we move on towards the season. But highly competitive. He's vocal. He cares. He's a great teammate. He's been really good for that position and some of the younger guys' development. So I'm happy to be able to get him in the end zone. It was long.
Drake was sacked 6 times today, but still finishes with 280 and 3 touchdowns. Just how impressed were you with his resolve as this game went?
Everybody's resolve, and again, would like to have the sacks, but again, we got to get the ball out on time and understand who it is, and but I don't think that as long as we're keeping them clean and not some vicious hits, we have to be able to. I think when we give them time to throw, it's pretty good, and it's good to see us hit a couple X plays, and but we knew that was going to be a challenge with this front, and then the way that they played with Miles Garrett, and committing 2 people to him, and him still affecting the quarterback is obviously impressive.
Mike, we're going on 6 weeks now where you guys are among the best defenses in the league. The last 3, what besides the tackling, which we've talked about, do you see is driving?
I think we settle in. I think we get some stops. I don't think we given up a ton of X plays in that regard. After the first drive, and whether that was a missed tackle or they got us and over aggressive and slipped the guy out of the backfield, but I think they play and they compete for 6 in a 1 or 2 possession game. There's 10 or 12 at least. So we got to continue to work on the things and enhance the things that we've done well and improve on the things that haven't been so well, which is the early game. The open getting off the field on 3rd down, which we had them in 3rd and long and weren't able to. So, but creating 3rd and long opportunities and then continue to get stops.
Word, but what did you say to your team at the half? You guys struggled a lot in the first half, both obviously to move the ball, but then of course to get points, then 3 straight touchdowns to start the second half.
We were winning the game, so I just told them keep playing. I mean, I don't know how many yards we had. I mean, as I look at the scoreboard, we were winning.
Mike,
look at that. I love that answer. I don't look at stats. I look at that scoreboard. You ain't gonna never hear that BS from Stefanski. Be like, I just told him that we got to be better. Mary Kay, that's a good question. I just told him we got to be better. Be it for Vrabel's press conference. Again, clean, well structured, well organized press conference compared to the Cleveland Browns. That doesn't surprise us. So we're gonna run this just under an hour, about 10 minutes under an hour. Again, this is Tyrell from the Nosebleeds. Thank you all for tuning in, whether it's first time here or coming back. Thank you for tuning in. I don't know what we're gonna do next Sunday. Browns are on a bye week next Sunday, so we'll probably just come on what happened throughout the league, and so I think that's when we're gonna do the trade deadline episode. Will be next week as well. As far as who we think could move everything like that and make it very interactive and fun. Again, please hit the like button, share, comment, and subscribe. We are 4 subscribers away from the magical 100 number. We're at 96, and I know it's kind of getting difficult not pushing out as much content, but we're gonna get there. A lot going on in my personal life, but nonetheless, we're gonna have content coming out, trade deadline content, power rankings. We'll be back on regular scheduled programming. If you guys watched the live video where I was talking about the NBA stuff, my save file for the power rankings got corrupted. came out with for the NBA. So we ran through the power rankings and the predictions, then talked about the NBA stuff. We're gonna stay on top of that, and then wrestling content as well. Gonna be saved for after the World Series. I was gonna do it before the World Series, but I'm gonna save it for after the World Series to give a congratulations to either the Dodgers or the Blue Jays and what I expect to see happen for the Guardians next year, or what I think Guardians next year. Again, thank you all for watching. Please hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe. This is Tyrell from the Nosebleed section.